A lot of players in the country playing Division I basketball. Nobody scored more points in one game this year than you. That's the most.
That's crazy. Yeah. More to come for sure.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark who?
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. Much respect.
Juju Watkins was destined to become the next sensation in women's basketball. A once-in-a-generation talent with unmatched skill, confidence, and determination to rule the court.
Yep, good. Push, yep, tail. Yep, good. All the way through. Yeah, good. Nice. Good. Yep, good. Yep. Front, good. Yep. Tap, yep. Right there. Yeah, those feet. Yep. Tap, yep. Push, and out. Good. Yep. 1, 2, 4. Not bad. And the whole thing you're trying to do is put your head under the rim.
Instead of embracing the challenge, she's found herself caught in a storm of her own making. A self-destructive spiral driven by jealousy, frustration, and an inability to accept Caitlin Clark's success.
You're getting some aerobic fitness in. Good. I need
it. The comparisons were unavoidable. Clark has redefined the game, shattering records left and right, while Watkins has struggled to keep pace. Now, instead of being celebrated for her talent, she's making headlines for all the wrong reasons.
Myers, the great Ann Myers, said one thing: enjoy it. Don't lose sight of the fun. Now, it was easy for me to embrace that and grasp that because I didn't have the social media like you do. I didn't have everybody coming out of the woodwork and the tags and the money and everything else and those attraction, and the lights were always bright. And in the back of my mind, I was wondering, and I've always wanted to ask you, is where is your quiet time? Where this is Juju's time.
This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about legacy, mindset, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Watkins' biggest mistake was letting the comparisons get under her skin. Instead of using Clark's rise as fuel, she let the rivalry consume her. Emotions took control, affecting her game, her interviews, and eventually her brand. In professional sports, perception doesn't just matter, it defines everything.
Put your head under the rim, so now she can't track you, right? She got to try to come through your body and the rim. Good, nice.
Why do you say this step? Because you said it twice.
She's working on it in and out.
Her fans, analysts, and even potential sponsors are taking notice, raising serious questions about whether Watkins has the mental resilience to handle the pressure. What does this mean for her future? Is she really on the edge of losing everything she's worked so hard to build? Before we dive into the full story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us deliver the biggest stories in sports, the ones mainstream media won't touch. Now, let's get into it.
Congratulations on a heck of a performance. So much on the line in this rivalry game. What was the mindset you guys brought into this game that allowed you to be successful?
I think teamwork. Everybody scored. Everybody made a positive effect on the game. So
Juju Watkins wasn't just another top recruit. She was the next big thing. Straight out of Los Angeles, she rose to national stardom as one of the most dominant high school hoopers in recent memory. At Sierra Canyon, her performances became the stuff of legend, effortlessly dropping 30, 40, even 50-point games like it was nothing. She was a walking highlight reel, blending elite scoring with natural court vision. Whether it was a step-back three, a fearless drive to the rim, or a clutch defensive stop, Watkins had it all: skills, swagger, and star power.
Marshall left alone once again. She's made a house.
She wasn't just playing the game, she was owning it. So when it came time to choose a college, every powerhouse program in the country lined up, hoping to land her. But Watkins had bigger plans. Instead of joining an already stacked roster, she made a bold move. Staying home to elevate USC.IT was an underdog decision that only added to the mythos. The hometown hero, ready to revive a once iconic but fading program and return it to national relevance. The story was perfect, and so were the expectations, sky high, and for good reason.
Physical game down to the very end. What gave your team the edge?
Man, I feel like we're underrated at this.
Watkins was expected to step into the spotlight and become the new face of women's college basketball, following in the legendary footsteps of icons like Cheryl Miller and Lisa Leslie. This was supposed to be her time, her moment to claim the throne and establish herself as the most dominant force in the game.
You're really trying to challenge me with the flash. I like it.
But then Caitlin Clark happened, and everything changed. The narrative shifted overnight. Instead of a smooth rise to the top, Watkins suddenly found herself chasing a superstar who was rewriting the record books in real time, capturing the spotlight that was once presumed to be hers.
Going up against the South Carolina machine. Sonano and Saxton to jump it up. And we are underway as South Carolina with...
Clark wasn't just excelling, she was redefining what was possible in the sport. And for the first time in her career, Watkins wasn't the biggest name in the room. She was no longer the most talked about player. That shift in attention, it started to weigh on her. Rather than staying locked in on her own growth, she got caught in the comparison game. A dangerous trap for any elite athlete, and one that can derail even the most promising careers.
Tonight.
Here is Clark. She will launch and bury it free.
When she comes off that pin down action,
There are great players, and then there are players who change the game. Caitlin Clark belongs to the latter. From the moment she stepped onto the college basketball scene, it was clear she wasn't just another star. She was a phenomenon.
For the secure defensive boards, LSU, an outstanding offensive rebounding team. Clark connects!
Armed with an unrelenting motor, limitless shooting range, and an alpha dog mentality, she didn't just play basketball, she took over games. Watching her drain logo threes with the ease of a warm-up shot became routine. But it wasn't just the scoring. Her ability to facilitate, control the tempo, and dictate the flow of the game put her in a league of her own. Clark's dominance wasn't accidental. It was the result of an obsession with winning. She carried herself with a swagger most players only dream of, but it was never just confidence, it was earned. She put in the work, stayed locked in, and delivered elite performances night after night. Every game felt like a must-watch event, drawing record-breaking TV ratings and turning sold-out arenas into her personal playground. She wasn't just excelling in women's basketball. She was forcing mainstream sports media to pay attention like never before. And this is where the challenge began for Juju Watkins, because Caitlin Clark didn't just remain an elite player. She became the measuring stick. Every rising star was suddenly compared to her. Every college standout was suddenly faced with the same question. Can they keep up with Caitlin Clark? That's an enormous amount of pressure for any player. Especially for someone like Juju Watkins, who had spent years as the most talked about name in her class. It wasn't just about being good anymore. It was about proving she could rival the biggest sensation the sport had seen in years. And when that pressure started to build, Watkins didn't channel it into her game. She let it get to her. For Juju Watkins, the downward spiral didn't happen overnight. It was a slow burn, fueled by mounting pressure, media scrutiny, and an increasing loss of control over her own narrative. At first, the comparisons to Caitlin Clark were just background noise, the kind of chatter that naturally follows a highly touted prospect.
I don't know if I've seen a woman college basketball player as polished as Juju Watkins. Stephen A., the way she can put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, Euro step, one leg, three-point shot, mid-range shot, and she can play outstanding defense. She'll sit in the chair. She can block shots. She can slide. Stephen A., she's as polished as a basketball player as that we've seen at the women's level.
Yo, man, we should be talking about her the way we talked about Caitlin Clark last year. Juju,
absolutely.
Special. Juju special. I'm telling you that right now. She is the package. And she's gonna be